Alright, what is up guys? Versi here, man. We're back to talk about Tower of God. But before that, look at the image on your screen right now. Just want this was I think a mobile game or whatever, the app or I don't know what it was. I just saw it, came across it, and it just made me think of how webtoons are really coming up right now. So this has God of High School and Tower of God, and there's also which both are have animes or getting animes, and I'm not sure about the other one on the right. It's Hardcore Leveling Warrior. Not sure about that one, if that's a webtoon as well. Most likely is. And then also there are more other popular ones that you can also just expect to get an anime adaptation, such as Solo Leveling, I believe is the name of it. I've heard a lot about that, seen a lot about that, and I guarantee you that one's is popular and popping, and that should definitely get an anime adaptation sometime soon. If not, I don't know what they're doing. But anyways, yeah, what is up? So we're gonna talk about my kind of thoughts on. I just finished, and not just man, it's actually been like a week, so hopefully it's all like fresh still. I try to make videos like this right after I finish an anime or something like that. But just gonna give my thoughts and opinion on Tower of God so far. I've just finished episode 12 like last week, a couple of days ago, and it the last episode really showed the potential of the anime to me, right? It was at a pace unseen before in the first 11 episodes. Like, every episode had a couple, interesting moments. This whole episode was full of nothing but surprises front to end, right? So it's so much that we still, after the 12 episodes, didn't know what after 11 episodes on the 12th we just now figuring out so much just happening. First foremost, I don't even know where to start at. Where do we start? Where do we start, man? Should we start at the end? No. All right, let's start here. There. So basically, just nothing's what we've seen, right? Obviously the ratio with Bam and Rachel has always been, and if you haven't noticed through the series or once, basically once Rachel, hurt herself or whatever. Just Rachel's just been acting weird, right? Rachel's not okay. Well, let me just put it like this: Rachel used to be, when we see in Bam's flashbacks, it's like godly figure, right? She was just great, taught him everything. But ever since, they kind of she basically knows who he knows who she is. And everyone knows he knows who she is now, and things like that. And everyone kind of knows their relationship and things like that. By that point, she didn't seem the same, right? She didn't seem like the same godly figure we saw earlier, which was a big, like, kind of almost stand. You should have been like, something ain't right with that. And as you guys seen the episode, hopefully, first and foremost, backtrack. If you ain't seen episode 12, just step away from the video, come back later. But yeah, we've if you finish the season, you're in the right place, right? So yeah, so basically she just didn't seem the same. We didn't I figured something was up with her. She just, like I said, wasn't the same Rachel that we saw in Bam's flashbacks. And now obviously Bam's flashbacks would make her seem a little bit better because he's had feel so highly about her, which could have also been like, just a that could have just also explained it too, that he just made her seem better than she was in his flashbacks, and she wasn't as great and thing, but it was a reason, I guess, that she wasn't acting the same. Now, so much other stuff going on, director included. So there's reinforcers there, the director and the rankers. Those guys have a complicated relationship. um how you say, I'm gonna say Khan, I think that's how you say it, Khan, or is it Kun? I'm gonna go with Khan. I think that's his how you say it. I don't know why I can't remember how exactly say it. But he had a and we it's and first and foremost, I'll tell you this now, and I haven't read the webtoon. I just enjoyed the anime, but I can tell it's a lot more with him going on than it obviously shows. And you should know that just by how smart he is, how well he's able to out manipulate everybody, like even directors, rankers. It's everybody's gonna get manipulated by him. It's a lot that, like, later on we just won't see, right. So and also, I want to point this out really fast, is that when we first started, Tower of God, it seemed like that type of thing where they were gonna go through levels. People were just gonna keep, dying off and things like that. But we actually got to a point where it just stopped, right? So the test stopped and all of that stuff, and everyone started basically. They got to this point where everyone was like training to be a specific job position, right? And it just got to that point, and then after when it got to that point, everyone started building like this friendship thing, and now everyone's basically in it together. Rather than back, it started with three teams, and now it's basically everyone's on the same team together, right? So it kind of evolved into that, and we did also lose a couple people on the way, but just wanted to point that out as well. That it's what it basically became is a team. Just everyone participating now is a team now, right? Everyone in the past, everyone was probably still trying to get each other. I thought it was gonna be more death, bloodshed by this point in the series, but it kind of leveled off. Like I said, once they stopped, doing those heavy tests, and now it's at a point where pretty much it's enjoyable, and everyone's on the same squad. Like again, and that's all thanks to Bam, as they mentioned earlier. They're trying to kind of protect what he has, and that is which everyone else has already lost, which is his happiness, right? His reason, his purpose, which is Rachel, right? So moving on though, back to Khan. Um, he had a relative, right? I'm pretty sure, right? Okay, so I just checked. It is Coon. That's how you, or they pronounce it at least, and which is weird because that's the name of his family, right? So and basically he's like exiled in a sense, which is weird that he still, everyone calls him his family's name, which is Coon, and that he's basically an exiled member of the family, and it was just kind of weird to me that they don't maybe say his first name, which is obviously in Japanese culture is not really well, since it's a webtoon, it's actually Korean culture, but regardless, it's just they usually just say last names instead of first names, and so it's just weird that maybe they out of respect, but I would have at least knowing because if you at least know his backstory, would have start calling him his first name. But anyways, he had got another visitor from another a Kun fam member, and he was basically asking him to if he wanted to still be with the princess or whatever, and he kind of denied it, which I just didn't really think about it. His family would ever show up, and I didn't really think they would look alike, but that was kind of a big surprise there when he's basically I guess I don't know if it's his brother or what, but it's just surprising to see that and that they actually have similar looks and and definitely similar personalities, probably all like very manipulative and all just have the same sort of attributes going from. And there's another thing here also about power scaling, right? Is there it's like a I can't gauge the power scale in this anime so far. It's like rankers, yeah, we know rankers and directors. They have like this, super powerhouse, but like other than that, everyone else seems like pretty normal. But then out of nowhere, you know, like someone like Coon looks normal, right? He's nothing that to me he's never had any like super strength or anything. His best quality is that he outsmarts people. But other than that, like, but he's able. His like in terms of power, he doesn't have a he doesn't have like weapons. He can't manipulate the energy source like Bam can. He can't. He doesn't have like a spear. It's just things that it's just a weird power scaling, like, right? So you just can't gauge someone off of their physical strength alone, their ability to control the energy. It's just nothing you can not you like even their sword strength doesn't like how powerful their sword is doesn't always mean a lot in this just universe. So it's a weird, definitely weird power scaling. But anyways, um yeah, I just found that was interesting with him, and then also just and not we haven't even talked about just the main aspect of that episode, which was the them trying to just basically pass the test, right? Get Bam into the net or get Ina, and they basically had to just stop the enemy, stop the beast, all of that stuff. Now the reinforcer came into play here as well. Now let's get into that kind of scene. So the Princess of Jihads, they are they were basically fighting the beast. And I guess he was simply he kind of made the beast, seem weaker than it was at first, and then he let the beast kind of really show his true power later on during the fight. But the reinforcer, I can did he ever give his name? I can't remember if he gave his name. I was gonna call him reinforcer because that's all I remember about the guy with like sheep kind of cloth on him. Yeah, so he basically was there to kill the princesses for whatever reason, and the director was let it happen because he wanted the princesses dead as well. Now I don't know the complete backstory as to why everyone has such bad blood with these princesses or whatever, but apparently no one likes them too much and kind of want to get them gone. And then the Ranker princess came. She showed up. I can't remember her name either. She was the one that gave Bam the sword. So if I when the season continues, I'll make sure next video I make as I know the names really well. Just right now, just uncertain of. Don't feel like doing too much research into it because obviously the season's over with, and I don't want to. I don't want to learn about an anime that I can't watch anymore. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, gave him the black sword. What was it called? Black Merchant, something like that, or Mamba? Not Black Mamba. Black Merch, something like that. It got stolen, but basically, let's get back to eh, just episode itself is just really fast paced. Just something that like if the one that anime itself has been interesting so far, right? It's kind of different. Nothing like crazy new we ain't never seen before, but it's definitely different in terms of even just the main character and just a lot of aspects around it. It's just different. Still a lot of unknowns, and this episode really just kind of really once again proved how little we really know in this world, of the tower, right? So, um, as well as Bam's quest to climb it with Rachel is as simple as they tried to make it at first. Right now, it just has really grown into such a bigger story plot, and basically the princess, Ranker Princess, showed up, saved the day. She had a navigator with her, right? The navigator pointed out that there was another navigator, which was a earlier participant in the that was climbing the tower. So it's just so much that was going on and so much information that was thrown at us later on that it is still mind-boggling even now after watching the episode how little we knew of what was going on when it, it's just a turn at every corner, right? We first saw this Ranker Princess first episode. I had no gauge of like from just the way she acted, talk. I couldn't tell you if she was powerful or not. Just no gauge, right? And by the end of it, we really see how truly strong she is compared to the other ones. She was almost fin to just completely stop the challenge itself once she found out that the beast went after Bam. Now Bam was able to defeat the beast, which should put it in perspective his kind of power level right now. Bam is we already know he's gonna get to an OP level pretty darn soon. If not, after recent events, which I'm finna get to now, which was Rachel basically betraying him at the end, and he pushed him off. Right, so let me get into that. It could go two ways, right? That could have been a good thing or a bad thing. First and foremost, let me explain what I mean when it could have been a good thing. Obviously, we know what it means if it was a bad thing. Bad thing, she just pushed them off. They failed the challenge. Now that puts him in a tough predicament. Good good thing is here is that maybe Bam wasn't supposed to go through the thing, and maybe him going through it would have killed them both. Or so, not sure how true that could be, but it's I'm not rooting it out that maybe she's potentially saved his life or not. But obviously, if you ever seen the opening, you know that just by the opening how sad Bam is, right? Bam's never happy in the opening, but if you watch the anime, he's always pretty much happy and going and things like that. And this may be the betrayal that puts him into that, theme theme opening Bam we always see, right? So, um, Still no telling what the future holds for that situation. But like as far as I can tell, it's so much still going on in that, and I just can't wait for it to come back. I think did the anime? I think they're pausing it. I can't tell if they're only pausing it because of the writer got sick or something like that. If I'm correct, or if it was just the end of the season. I don't think it was the end of the season. But basically, the anime it has so much potential, man. It can go a lot of places if done right, and I'm hooked on it so far. I think it's definitely a staple once it comes back. I was on and off of it. I was on it, but once I got to like those last 8 episodes, once I got to episode 8, I think I just finished it up. I had to. It got really interesting. The first, like, it was a little slow, maybe the first, 2, 3, whatever. But now it's got to the point, man. You got to keep up with it every week once it comes back. But anyways, yeah, guys. Depending on how it goes, I may definitely start doing a review episode after every episode of Tower of God once it comes back. And if so, stay tuned with that. But so far, that's it for this video, man. I feel like I gave my thoughts on it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. Let me know what you thought about the anime and what you think about the videos. Let me know what you think about webtoons coming up, man. They're having to come up right now in terms of anime. And also, go ahead and just smash that subscribe button. We're out.